Okay, we return for more ghostly intervention with Deathbringer. We left off right here in the very center of what I now call the Cravemar dungeon. This little notepad here, between episodes, I wrote uh, some details ahead of time for each room. Not a story, just basically interactions with each room. Just to kind of plan ahead, I want to try something a little different, as also a method for practice of my upcoming new campaign after this one. So we have Deberman, our Scoundrel, and Graham, our Deathbringer. They spotted a scout at this intersection corridor. When they saw him, he bolted up here, and now our team, because they've already explored this quarter of the entire Cravemar dungeon, they now have no option but to either go this way, but they rather go this way because, again, that's all that's really left besides a few other spots here if we get to that. So they chase, they make chase and make a left here. As they approach this corridor, this turn, this is corridor A1. There are two archers on the west side in this spot right here. They have an AC of 12. Their damage die is D8, and their HP is 8. There's also the Scout, who is a close range fighter. He's a AC of 10, weaker at a D4, and health of 4. So that's what our team has to deal with at the moment. They prepare themselves for battle because there's two archers are about to get a warning by the Scout as a Scout runs by and turns around, basically camping behind these two archers that are aware of our intrusion, our team's intrusion. Our team stops and arrows fire by. So we're basically going to have to roll dexterity to see if our team can dodge using, of course, the d20. So blue will be Deberman, red will be Graham. Okay, so dexterity +2 for Deberman, +1 for Graham. Okay, so Um, I didn't give a difficulty. I forgot to do that. Let's do DC 15. So I'm going to re-roll because the arches were aware. I'm going to re-roll this. And before I forget, the Deathbringer die, they have one per level, one per session. So it looks like Deberman was not able to dodge. Graham rolled a critical fail, so he will take double damage. These arrows, we can re-roll using our Deathbringer. So the way that works is Deathbringer dice. A player can spend to add a d6 to any d20 roll, inflict additional damage on a successful hit, absorb d6 damage. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's try this out now in the beginning of this session. We're going to absorb damage for, let's do Deberman. So d6 damage. So these archers are d8. So here's how it works. I'm going to just do a critical fail for Graham. I'm sorry, I meant to say I'm going to absorb damage for the critical fail, which is Graham. So we will take his Deathbringer die, and we'll take the D8 for the enemy. We'll do his first, and he is able to absorb 6 of it, which is good. So that's 1 HP damage. Puts him down to 15 out of 20. Okay, so his Deathbringer die is now out of play. Deberman is not going to use his Deathbringer die. He takes standard D8 damage, which will be here. 2. So he's down to 10 now. Okay. So we are now in combat. And I'm going to roll initiative. They surprised us, so we're going to roll for initiative here. So I'll do 2d20s. Red is going to be the enemy, blue is us. We go second in this round. They beat us just by one. So they once again will fire the two archers. Let's get them detailed here. So we have Archer 1. He has HP of 8. We have Archer 2, who's also 8. And then we have the Scout, who is going to be 4. And then damage die will be a D8 for these two, D8, and a D4. Their AC is 12, like I said from earlier, so 12. And his AC is a measly 10. So we are now in encounter. They attack first. We're going to roll. The first archer is going to try and fire at Deberman. His AC 14, or I should say, is his defense is 14. That's going to be a miss. Then we have Graham at 15. That's also a miss. The scout will rush in and try to attack Deberman. That is going to be a hit. So the scout manages to hit Deberman with a D4. It's right here. That's 2 damage. He's now down to 8, which is concerning because that's half his health. Okay, now it's our turn. We have Deberman's going to use his longbow, which is dexterity and damage. So +2 for this roll here at the AC of 12. +2 is a hit, so at 13. And then damage will include a +3 from strength. Actually, I am not going to include that. Well, D8. I don't think you include the damage from strength. It says melee attack damage. Well, technically it is damage, so I will include it. So kind of back and forth on that one. But his longbow is a D8. That's 5 damage against the first one. So he's down to 3. And then Graham will use his short sword as he rushes in to attack with +4 in this roll. That's going to be a hit. That's a 13 with that 9 there. That's a hit. So his damage is also a D8. Ooh, 8 damage. Nice. Plus the bonus. Okay, he's dead. So Archer 2 is out. The scout panics, runs away. We can do a morale check. Let's roll for let's roll at his let's do an oracle question. Does he actually panic and flee? I'm gonna say 65% chance. He does. That's a solid yes. He drops his dagger and runs. He bolts this way as he flees, and you can hear a door slam. So he's in here now. Let's write that in here. Scout right there. So now it's just he's MIA. Okay, so now we have Archer 1. Archer 1 is against the corner. He's going to pull out his dagger and rush, attempting to attack Graham using he is D20 here. Let's roll for attack. 15 or more, that's a fail. So it looks like Graham has a chance to attack back. But great, Deberman's first in order, so we'll go to Deberman. He's going to attack with his dagger, or actually has a warhammer. We'll try that. So we're rolling at an AC of 12 plus the strength bonus of +3. That is a hit. So warhammer is a D8, and that's going to be a kill. So he only had 3 HP left. Okay, so these two archers have been taken care of. Take this card off the side here, and they loot the two archers. They find 20 gold pieces per. So that'll be down here, 20 per. All right. Okay, now that room is done. We are just here at the corner, west corner of A1. Deberman is low on health. He's about halfway down on his bar, so he's going to use his potion. So that will take care of that. The potion will do a D8 heal. 3. Okay, so he's up to 11. All right, now any potions for a friend here? Nothing. Okay, so Graham does not have any potions, but he's not too worried. He's slightly not wounded too badly. Okay, so we're going to the team sees this door right here. This is room 18. This door is locked. It let's see here. Yeah, this door requires a key, which they know the scout ran well. Let's ask the Oracle, did the team see the scout? Either a question for the Oracle, or we can do a D20 roll against Wisdom for both characters. So blue is as usual, Deverman, red is going to be Graham. I'm thinking of Graham. Deverman has +1 on perception, so we'll do that. Difficulty, because it was in battle, let's say it's 15, the difficulty class. So 15 or more. Did they spot the scout run to room 17? 15. Only Graham did, but that's fine. He still spotted him. So Graham says he, with confidence, he saw the scout flee and run behind this door here. But then they see this very nice shiny door right here. This door is old and rickety, but this one appears to have a keyhole, and so does this door here. But they are Graham is Deverman is interested in going in this door. Deberman says, I just told you I saw the scout flee back into this room. He says, yes, but look at this door. It is solid gold. There is something behind here. We could find some treasure. Graham says, you are lost, my friend. Deberman has that key. It's a silver key that we picked up, I believe, from room 13 after killing those two scavengers. So he puts the key in. The door does open successfully, and no trouble, no trap. And as he enters 18, I think Graham will stand and wait behind. He says, I'm going to wait here. You do what you got to do in case more come. So Graham will hang tight back here. We'll enter, Deverman will enter room 18. And room 18, there's a pillar right here in the middle. And there's a fighter hiding behind the pillar, unbeknownst to Deverman. So there's actually a fighter right here. He's sleeping. He's lying against the pillar, and there's another door on the opposite end. So he is walking cautiously. He hears the snoring. There's no roll required for that. The snoring echoes through the chamber here. So he stops and he looks back at Graham, tries to signal him, but Graham is not paying attention. Graham is looking back and forth through the corridor here, and more so at the other door. So Deberman's going to unsheath his, take his dagger out, and is going to slowly walk around the pillar where he spots the foot of this fighter on the ground who's sleeping. So we're gonna roll for stealth. This will be a takedown. He's going to try to basically kill him in his sleep. This will be +2 on defense, and he is a scoundrel, so we'll do advantage roll. I'm going to say because he's sleeping, 10 is the difficulty, and he gets it, 11 plus the 2, so either way he got it. He's able to slay this sleeping beauty, and he collapses forward. He dies in his sleep. Pretty gruesome death. And he's going to loot him. He has a journal, which he ignores. He also has, let's see, what did I put here? He has some loot, which is 100 pieces of gold. So we'll put 100. And then he also has a long sword. So that is what he was hoping for. So that long sword is going to be a D10, or let's say, yes, a D10 is because the short sword over here for Graham is D8. So D10 makes sense to me. Okay, so he definitely has a good collection of weapons. Warhammer, dagger, longbow, longsword. Okay, so after killing him, this door right here and room 19 is going to be, I believe it's locked. I didn't state if it's locked here. I should have. It's unlocked. Okay, so sorry. Some notes are on the map, some notes are here in my book. This door is not locked, but it is trapped. It's fire. So he curiously opens the door, he grabs the handle and opens it as he sees this room. When he opens the door, there's chilly air, and there seems to be a vent. That's not a pillar, that's a vent in the ceiling coming through. So chilly air, the snow peeking through, kind of snowing through the ceiling. And as he opens it, he needs to roll for a save. There is a trap of fire. This will be dexterity. He has to quickly step out of the way. It's a one-time trap, just kind of fire gets appears from the ceiling down. So roll +2. I'll make DC of 10. And ooh, he gets hit. Okay, so he takes D4 damage of just a burn. Oh, and re-roll 2 damage. Okay, so he's down to 9. Okay, as he brushes off that slight third-degree burn, he slowly walks forward. He sees as he gets closer to this room here, this portion of room 19, a lost spirit appears. One of the ghosts that inhabit this dungeon. The ghost speaks to him in common. This spirit says that if he helps him find his lost family locket, he will reward him with a spell book for the good deed. So it's obviously going to be a valuable item. Deberman agrees to this slight quest, so the spirit fades away and the lost family locket. Graham quickly runs back and reconvenes with, I'm sorry, Deberman, that's all Deberman. Deberman runs back, reconvenes with Graham, and explains what he just saw. He says he doesn't talk about the fighter he just killed in his sleep, but he says that he saw another ghost, but this time the ghost explained that if they help him find a lost family locket, he will be rewarded with a powerful spellbook. Let's say the spellbook is of invisibility. That's what I put here. So spellbook of invisibility. Graham says book of spellbook of invisibility that might come in handy. So they agree, and they said, what else did the spirit say? And he says, I don't know. He just vanished. He spoke to me, I agreed. And Graham says, you didn't bother to ask for details? Where is this family locket? This whole dungeon could be anywhere. And Deberman said, I didn't have time. Just you just vanished. So Graham's like, well, let's take care of that scout. Maybe this locket is somewhere behind that door. So they go up to this door. It's locked. Um, I think it can be used with the key. So they use the key. The door does unlock. It opens up, and as they enter room 17, it is littered with a bunch of skeletons. There is skeleton bones all over the floors. There is a slight path through the skeletons, but they have to walk through this pile of skeletons to be, and there is a DC. There is a not necessarily a trap here, but a skeleton does awaken if they cross if they walk by this dormant skeleton. So it becomes animated. So it's a DC of 15. We gotta see. This will be a kind of a secretive roll. This is perception, passive perception. So +1 against 15 for Graham Deberman. Deberman sees it. Graham does not. Deberman stops and he says, "Wait, don't move. There's a skeleton in the corner who's kind of sitting, leaning against the wall. Looks very mysterious. It actually is moving its head around and kind of follows our team. So it's not getting up just yet, but they spot this skeleton right here, basically monitoring our team. And I wrote here, it gets awakened if it's noisy. So if they kick a bone or if they make a noise, if they talk, basically Deberman says, don't make any noises, just walk quietly. So there's no scout here. There's no scout yet. I will say that I have a better idea. Okay, so I'll save that for a little later, not too far out. But they're going to walk through the skeletons. They did roll a save to not wake the skeleton. However, Graham did fail the roll, but Deadman warned him to be quiet. So because of that, if it was a one, if this was a, I'm sorry, you guys can't see it. If this was a one, that would have been a fail. Even with the warning from Deverman, Graham would have tripped, kicked a bone, sneezed or something because it's so cold. That would have caused the skeleton to become animated, to become defensive. So they approach this door here. They see these two doors. This is actually a wall. It does not appear to be a door to them from their perception, their perspective. They have no reason to think this is a door. This is clearly a door. This is room 15. So this once again requires I believe it's a key. It needs the same key. This silver key has been the go-to for the whole team. It's like a master key. So they open the door to reveal room 17, sorry, 15. As they unlock it, it gets jammed. So the door opens halfway, not enough to fit one person through. So it requires a strength roll of 10. So we're going to roll per character, +3 strength for Deberman and +4 for Graham. Oh, critical fail. Okay, a terrible roll for both of them. Pathetic. So the skeleton wakes up because they try to push the door. It creaks and something's behind it, blocking it. The door slams back down, slams on them. Most likely, the scout is behind that door, pushing the door back in. The skeleton awakens, pulls out a sword, and attacks. So now we're in a encounter. Let's roll to see who goes first. Blue is us, red is enemy. I'll include the +2 dexterity from Deberman, and still not enough. Skeleton goes first. Not the best day for initiative for a team here. Okay, so the skeleton, he is going to be, I do have some specs here, I believe. AC 12. He has a damage die of D6, and his armor is going to be, I'm sorry, he doesn't have any, there's no armor to consider. It's the DC, AC 12. He has 6 HP. Okay, that's it. So the skeleton goes first and attacks with, let's see, the red. against Deberman of AC 14. That's a miss. The skeleton's pretty slow. Deberman will retaliate with his attack. This would be melee using the long sword he just found against +3 strength. So here we go. That's a 6 against 12. That's not enough. Graham attacks with his short sword, which is a D8. He has a +4. That's an 8. Terrible day for the rolls. Maybe I got to put more throw into it. Okay, back to the skeleton. He's attacking. Let's use the red. That's a 2. It's a fail. Okay, let's put a little spin on this one. Deberman is going to roll with +3. That is a fail. 9. So, Graham, let's see what happens here. +4. Okay, so I'm going to do a rule change here. Because this is really bugging me. We are going to change house rule Deathbringer to direct attacks, to no hit or miss. We're going to go Karen here. We're going to speak to the manager and change the defense to no longer your traditional D&D. I'm sorry, I'm going to change this halfway through this episode, but we're going to go Karen RPG and just do straight damage minus armor. So to do that, we're still considering the defense bonus by dexterity, but we're going to total up the armor we're wearing. We have +1 light armor and then +1 defense and ring of protection for Deberman. That gives him an armor of +2. So his defense is valued at 2, which is negates that amount of damage. For our friend over here, Graham, he has a +1, and he's wearing a helmet, shield, and +2. So he has 4 armor. So definitely has quite a bit more in terms of protection. There you go. So no more AC. We're scratching that off the books. I was just getting a little irritated at that. Okay, so now we're back to, I believe, I lost track of who I was doing. Let's do the skeleton. He's a D6. He's going to attack Deberman. A 3, that's 1 point of damage. Deberman's down to 8. Then Deberman's going to attack with his D10 sword, long sword against the skeleton. 7. We need to get armor for the skeleton. I forgot. His armor will be, let's say, also 2. So -5. He's down to 1 now. Now it's going to be Graham. He's going to attack with his short sword of a D8. 8 damage. Skeleton falls apart, crumbles to the ground. So they've defeated that skeleton. Okay, so after that snafu with the armor, we've concluded our 17 here. The door though slammed on us, so we know that someone is back there holding the door. Our team is going to, because they know the skeleton's been defeated, they're going to do they're going to back up and rush the door, try to bash it open. This will be 2 d20s and a d6. This is the effort of the scout behind the door. If it is a scout, this is the scout. I'm including it is, and a 2d6. They have to basically beat that measly d6. Okay, so the door does bash open thanks to the efforts of Graham, which he has a plus this critical fail roll here. Deverman falls, collapses. He trips on a bone or something, takes no damage. But the 12 here, +4 strength, is 16. Easily bashes the door open. This is room 16. Sorry, 15. The 15, the floor in the middle here, besides the middle tile, is quicksand. So this knocks the scout back, and he falls to his death into quicksand as he gets sucked in. And thankfully for doing that, Graham sees that. So we're going to leave off this episode. Graham, they're standing right here, and this spot is safe. These 2 tiles are safe. These 2 apart, and a third one up here. They can see beyond this middle tile. They simply have to jump. That there is a trigger plate on the floor that caused this quicksand trap to be triggered a while ago. Ever since this scout got here, he was hiding behind that door. The middle plate is safe. The back plate is also safe. They spot a pile of loot at the end here of the room. So they do see a shiny item at the on a pile of loot right here. Trying to read my notes here. So basically, it's a platform. I'm sorry, I'm completely mistaken. There is a lever. There's a lever here that they can pull down on. Not loot just yet. I'm sorry. I'm confused a couple rooms together. But basically, there is a platform. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to take a phone call. So just to recap, just to correct a few things, I was mistaken when I said the loot was here. There is a there is a trigger here that the team will eventually have to get to. So they're going to have to jump over to this safe middle tile, which they can do. I don't see a need to roll for this. They'll jump to this first one, and then Deberman will have to. This one's a little farther, so I'm going to have him roll. He is a scoundrel, so he has better dexterity. He'll have to roll at a DC of, let's see, where did I label this thing here? 15. Yep. So 15 plus 2 on this roll. But he is a scoundrel. I'll give him an advantage. He's prepared. Um, yep, there we go. 16 is a success. He jumps to this platform. He uh, pushes the lever up, and the quicksand freezes, turns into solid, and they can hear a large moving object, which to us is this door. This wall opens up. So he walks across cautiously, gets back with Graham. They're going to quickly loot the scout. The scout that they killed, he had nothing of value on him except for 10 gold pieces, which they'll split, so 5-5. Okay, so they notice that this door is open here, so they're going to enter room A2. A2 is empty, but there is a eerie smell coming from this door right here. Almost smells like death. So they're going to walk up to here, knowing that this lever opened this door. Now to this door, this is room 16. The entry is unlocked. They open the door very carefully, and they see what appears to be like a chapel. There are there is a red carpet. I'm going to actually remove this little action I had here off the script. So there's a red carpet running from the doorway up to a podium, church style seating, and there's actually a pile of treasure with a little hanger that has the family locket they're looking for. So they know they're in the right room at this point. However, as they notice, they see there are other ghosts, spirits sitting, minding their own. They're praying. And as a team enters the room, their heads turn and look at the team, but they don't do anything. They just kind of watch. Our team will slowly walk up, and here's what I'm thinking as the game master come behind the scenes, in the thought patterns of all these little rooms. So if the team did not go into this room first, they would have had to pick this lock, try to break in, get the whatever this lever does, open this, and if they got in here without prior permission from the ghost, these spirits know they are here for the locket, they would have attacked. Or they would have been aggressive, maybe tested them. Because again, we have permission from the principal, basically, of this entire Caveman dungeon to wander about, clearing out the intruders. Things would have been a lot differently if we didn't have an interaction with the main spirit here in this room, room 11, and then on this little side quest, finding this locket. These spirits would have perhaps tested us or asked what we're doing here. So things could have gone south. But because we have these two, hall passes, we have no problem walking up to the podium and taking the locket. So the locket will go into the hands of Deberman because he's an initial quest interact recipient. Also put family locket with a little star as a quest item. And he also looks at the treasure. It's a pile of gold, but the gold actually fades away as he takes the locket. So it was just a illusion. So the locket fades away. The ghosts continue to pray as he has the hands. He has a locket in his hands. They don't look at the team anymore. So the team will leave this room. They'll leave this room. They're in now room 17. Let's see if they interact with anything. Does anything happen? Blues, yes. Red is no. I'm going to say likely nothing. It's unlikely anything happens. So two reds. The highest of the red. It's unlikely. Yep, 5 against 1. It's highest of the no. Nothing happens. They enter this corridor. They go through room 18. Graham kind of interestingly he follows. They enter this room. The room is empty. The spirit's not there. Deberman holds the locket up. He looks around and says, "Spirit, I've found your family locket." As he looks around, Graham kind of also looks up and sees the vent. He's like, "Wow, it's still snowing out." Suddenly, the door here slams and the ghost appears, the same spirit from before, not a different one. The team turns around. The spirit appears thankful. He extends his hand out, and you can kind of see like a robe with a skeleton, like a skeleton hand of a skeleton reaching out, and he gives the family locket. The locket kind of transitions to a transparent object being held by the ghost. So the ghost can interact with objects on its own, of its ownage. So the ghost smiles and says, "Thank you." And then a spell book appears and floats in front of the team, kind of spinning like kind of like a quest item. Demerman takes it. So this spell book is of invisibility. I'm sorry. So we'll double check if it's invisibility. It is, yep, invisibility for 2 turns. Invisibility. There we go. So now the spirit disappears and a door opens, and now they can leave peacefully out back into the A1 corridor. So our team has left off right here in A1 corridor, ready to continue on clearing out the dungeon of the intruders. So for this completion of this session, I will give 2 experience points total for the team. That pushes both of them to 9, it looks like. And they are 1 away from from level 2. Okay, there you go. And that's going to be it for this episode. As far as Deathbringer goes, it's pretty good. I like the Deathbringer dice concept. I'm just still getting used to getting used to getting back into D20. I'm so used to playing the D2, D3 systems, but we're going to continue using it for the next 5 episodes. I think up till episode 10, and then we'll switch to a new system. If we don't complete the dungeon. This is a one shot, so the goal here is to complete this dungeon and clear out the intruders for the ghosts, for the spirits. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.